morning and welcome to the West Bishop Show.
Good morning. Thank you for having me.
Today I'd like to introduce my wife, Miss Dayla Bishop, to the West Bishop Show and let her tell her story about real estate and the world of D.R. Horton. And with that, so tell us a little bit about what's been going on in your life over the last few months and what you're doing here.
Awesome. Well, thank you so much for having me, first of all. It is an honor to be on the husband show.
An honor to be on the husband show. I like that. Okay.
Yeah, so you asked what's been going on lately. So obviously all about real estate from a work standpoint, but from a personal standpoint, enjoying the new grandbaby that we have and share together. So just balancing the family work life.
That's awesome. What neighborhood are you working in for D.R. Horton?
I'm in Crandall. So we actually have 3 different product lines in Crandall that I sell all of them. And it's an incredible community. I'm very, very honored to be able to offer something so affordable and then so close to downtown Dallas. So that's our draw factor.
Okay. What's that neighborhood?
Wildcat
And
Ranch and Cartwright Maze.
in Cartwright Maze. That's awesome. And y'all sell anything out there?
We are. We're one of the fastest selling communities for D.R. Horton in our division, which is something. It's a blessing to be able to be a part of the team there. For us, like I was saying, the draw factors is one of the reasons, but overall the affordability that we offer families is the draw factor. I mean, that's what D.R. Horton does. That's our mission statement. We offer affordability, a very quality product at affordable price.
That's amazing. So who are your top 5 realtors that are always there?
Oh, wow. Well, I have more than 5.
If you got more than 5, give me 10.
Well, I mean, we can just start with the ones that are most often there. Monument Realty is there often, so I'm very grateful for our partnership that we share together. Remax, the Vasquez team. Obviously, Nancy Garcia is a huge draw factor, and her team, she is incredible. Janet Vega, she is so fantastic. And what I've found is a lot of these realtors are just so like-minded. The passion we share of how do we help a family. Because when you're in real estate, it's not just about, showing a home and playing matchmaker. It is truly diving into how can we best help this family. Everyone's situation is different, whether it's their financial side or maybe some personal challenges with their time frame. There's just a multitude of differences of every single family that walks in. It's almost like we're little mini investigators on how can we best serve this family in the best way possible.
And I guess the realtors help y'all or us get into that, since I do it also.
Yes, absolutely. And it's so amazing having a whole family in this business, because obviously we're not only sharing just the same mission on helping people, but just being able to say, hey, how did you navigate that challenge? Or how did you, so using each other as a sounding board and having us all here, which is fantastic. Our boys are here. I have one on the mortgage side, one on the sales side, who's currently just crushing it. So we're so proud of both of them. So
Well,
it's
that's
nice having
awesome.
all of us.
So he's been top. No, well, he's been top of the board for what, 2 or 3 months, and
Oh, yeah. Well, we kick off
already.
our fiscal year end is in September. So our new start of our new fiscal year is in October. And so he's been at the top of the list.
So this is your first podcast that I
Yes.
know about.
Yes. So it's very, very different.
You had a realtor that had put out a bunch of stuff on social media, and she came in with a huge list of people. What was that realtor?
Oh my gosh, that's Miss Rosie. I love Rosie. She's beautiful, but she's even more beautiful on the inside than outside. She's just precious and sweet. But she did put out a TikTok in regards to our new affordable product line that we just brought up, that product from Houston. In our current community of Wildcat Ranch, starting in those 260s to low 300s, there were times where we were having families that would come in and they couldn't quite qualify for that, but they could qualify for 200 or low 200s, and we didn't have a product line to offer them, and now we do. And so just being able to put that out there on TikTok, our TikTok went viral. The next thing we know, we're selling a bunch of homes together.
That's awesome. And Nancy's team actually came out before you guys opened. I think I recall seeing some of their social media,
Yes.
climbing on tractors
Oh,
and getting
my
ready to light
goodness,
that
yes.
up. And because they were out there so much at the beginning, they helped that thing really kick off for you.
They did. They actually
isn't Rosie
helped.
on her team also?
She's on the Monument team,
Yeah,
but
yeah.
there's difference in teams and individuals that work for Monument. So with Nancy, though, when she did come out, she came out at dirt. So there was absolutely nothing to show in all of the Metroplex of this new product line. And she was just walking the streets and just showing the lots. But building the dream, she's really, really good at it. And while she's talking, she hops on a tractor. And of course, when she shared the video with me, I'm like, what in the OSHA violation? Get off that tractor.
And when I saw it, I thought the same thing. Now, the Vasquez team, they're a pretty powerful team for you.
They are. And again, they're so like-minded. They are just top-notch class, if I could just say that word. But they are a phenomenal team. They work together as a team.
How many have they sold with you?
Oh my goodness, I don't even know that I can count. Maybe a couple of dozen.
Well, that's cool.
Yeah.
I mean, that's a good number.
Well, and I say that, you got to remember, so being here for a long time with Horton and then transferring to the Houston area for 7 years, I've only been back up here a year and a half. So that is a lot of homes when you're talking about one team, when you're talking about only have been back to this division for a year and a half.
I think you've been back here longer than that.
Almost 2.
I'm getting ready to say.
Almost 2. It may.
'Cause I've been back here almost a year and a half
In May.
myself.
In May, it'll be 2 years.
Since you left me down in Houston by myself.
Well, we had to work that out.
It did. It all worked out fine.
It's always hard to transition when you're trying to sell one house and buy a new house and do all those things. But we made it work like we always do.
We did.
32 years later, I think I'll keep you.
Well, I appreciate that. That works both ways. So, how did you remember? Let's go back to when we got in this industry. When I sat with your father for the first time, and we opened up a deal to build a couple of houses together, and started learning the industry. I was selling cell phones, I think, at the time.
Hawk Electronics.
And, Hawk Electronics, PCI, Southwestern Bell. It was a big deal, and we made a lot of money over there, and we were able to put some money back into the building side before we started, and we built our first house, and it was crazy for me. So how about yourself?
Oh, it was crazy for me
how
too.
How did you feel about it when we started that?
It was crazy for me too. So as a young woman at the time, my whole family's in real estate. As you know, my grandparents were real estate investors. My father was a builder. But I saw a lot of up and downs with the market. You talk about the late 80s and the high interest rates, and there's a lot of up and down growing up and witnessing the up and down. So meeting and falling in love with someone who had a stable job, who wanted to join this up and down, was a little nervous for me at first when you're like, oh, I've always wanted to do this. I was like, are you sure?
Well, that entrepreneurial spirit I carry, it's a difficult process because sometimes you leave things that are really good for you to go try and do something different. But I just believe I'm one of those people that it's not once more. I just want to build something bigger so I can give back more. And I think that's what I've always wanted to do. And, we buy a few investment houses here and there, and we've done well on most of our houses. But tell us how you got into this thing, and let's follow your path and where we started with you, with your first investor, and then moving into real estate once we went to Austin. So tell us a little bit about that.
Oh, well, so coming from a family in real estate, it seemed very natural. We joke that we have sawdust in our veins. Just because that's what I've known for generations. Real estate has been in our family. So when you and I married and we started our path of doing real estate investments, it started out obviously being about the money because I was just flipping foreclosures. It wasn't until later that I discovered the true passion of really helping people. Because at that point, it was just about, what am I going to do for a living? What am I going to do to contribute to our family financially? And that's how it started. And then it evolved into something really beautiful that I feel just so blessed to be a part of.
Foreclosure business, I didn't like you in it.
Well, it's kind of dangerous.
Kind of?
We have some campfire stories for sure.
Well, we ought to tell about some of our campfire stories. There's some interesting stories. So
Yes, there is.
Tell us a couple of stories.
Oh my goodness. Well, first of all, when you're buying a foreclosure, sometimes we call them hypocrite houses because you don't have the opportunity to see the inside. So you're judging from the location, the neighborhood, and then just outside appearances, maybe what this house might be worth. With obviously some comps and whatnot, but you have zero idea of what a complete disaster the inside is.
Oh, I do.
And there's been plenty of times that that's happened, but I think the funniest stories that we share, it's more related to just the circumstance. So some of these homes have been in high crime rate areas, or should I say high drug used areas, stop six. If anyone knows Fort Worth, they know stop six. Most people don't choose to drive through there. And Polly as well, yes. But that was back in the day we didn't have smartphones. We had MapsGos. So that was page 67 and 68 and 69, by the way. I have that by memory.
You've looked at it that much.
Yes, studied it that much. But some of the funniest stories, we've had squatters. We've had, someone try to burn the house down. We've had someone actually do burn the house down. Thank God that was on a lake lot, so it was still of value, and we still made money on that. But we've had some interesting stories.
Threatening to kill us?
Yeah, we've had a few of those. Yeah. I think our most interesting story that we have is the one where we bought. It was a true bachelor's pad. We actually attempted to, and I say we as in because you wouldn't allow me to go knock on doors and make offers to homes before foreclosure by myself. So my mom and I had gone to this home, true bachelor's pad, even just a full pool table in the family room, a Harley parking sign on the wall, which he actually came home and parked his Harley.
In the house.
In the living room at the Harley parking sign. Glass wall, huge tree, large snake. I mean, it was just a guy's pad.
I seem to remember a casket for that house burned down.
Well, you're just telling the punchline of the story.
Oh, I'm sorry. I didn't mean to step on you.
But we made him an offer. He was actually a super nice guy, but he was like, no, ladies, I've taken care of it. Thank you so much for your time and your offer. And we left. And so the way the foreclosure works out at the Tarrant County side is that you can have random, attorneys come up and read properties all at one time. So there was a group of us investors that the same ones that buy all the time are there. And so we communicate together. We work together at times to say, hey, if this comes up and you see it, would you mind picking it up for me and I'll pay you the fee. We had agreed upon, terms on how we could help each other if we had to divide and conquer. And so in that situation, one of our friends, Mike Honeycutt, actually purchased the property. And he was just like, okay, this is how much I'll charge, but let me go ahead and evict the guy because I've already paid for the house, bought the insurance, and let me just go ahead and do the eviction for you if it comes to that. And then we'll, turn the property at that time. So we agreed. And the day that he was supposed to be out, we were to meet at the property and pay our cash for this property to our buddy. And we see billow of smoke, fire engines, police everywhere. And we pull up. You remember this well, because we were just like, wow, our investment just burned to the ground. So to take it one step more interesting, the police stops us and they say, you cannot be in the perimeter, obviously for safety reasons, but more reasons, shockingly, is cadaver dogs are on the way.
Yeah, there was some interesting stuff in that house.
Yes. So there were 2 walls left standing, which there were guns in the walls. There was a casket found in the ground. And there was some questionable things. And it turns out this guy was wanted by the FBI.
Yep.
And I was in his house.
Yep. And that's about the last one we did.
No, we did some more. It was for more caution.
It was more like, you got to get out of this. When we moved to Austin, I don't think I could have ever lived with myself letting you keep doing that out in that kind of market. It was one day you're gonna get hurt.
Well, it was an interesting transition because at that time you were with a new home builder that offered us more money than we can say no to relocate to Austin. And when we moved to Austin, Austin was brand new for me. We didn't know a soul in Austin. And Austin was beautiful and Austin was fun. But when you actually encouraged me to say, hey, why don't you stay at home? Well, I'm a busybody. So by 9 a.m., dinner's planned, the house is clean, kids are at school, and I'm twiddling my thumbs. So for a moment, there was that thought of, why don't in this season of your life just be a stay-at-home mom if you want to, or do whatever you want to, but please stop that real estate investing stuff. Do something else.
Yeah.
And after thinking about it, I was like, but real estate is what I know and what I love. So that's when I became an agent. And so I loved being a real estate agent when the kids were younger because I could just balance that work, family life. And you have more freedom of time when you're an agent as opposed to on-site sales like we are today.
Yeah, you have no work freedom life. It's work.
Well, you don't, but if there's a trade-off, right? And when you're on-site sales like we are, we have the captured business. And so we actually have the opportunity to help more families in a shorter amount of time because we have all the business coming to us as opposed to being an agent and geographically trying to be everywhere else. It's just not possible. So last week when I sold 6 homes in a week, to do that as an on-site sales agent, that's foreseeable. To do that as a real estate agent, that's almost near impossible. Not because they're not hustlers, because we know a lot of hustler realtors who are capable of doing that, but doing it week after week, geographically having to go everywhere they go to do that is way more difficult.
Oh, I listen to these realtors today that they're all over. I mean, they live in the east side of Dallas and selling on the west side of Fort Worth, and they're just wore out. I mean, they're running every which way they can get.
They're road warriors.
They are, and I think you think back to when we went to Austin. I was working for D.R. Horton in the 90s here in Fort Worth.
Now, you started all this family business.
Hey, well, I'm on my 3rd time back here. They could let me go out and be an entrepreneurial spirit and still
let you come
let
back.
me come back. So
They must like you.
I probably won't leave until I finally decide to make a full retirement. That sabbatical I took for 8 years because health conditions was quite.
Yeah, but you were still busy. You started a new business and had your arm in something else.
Well, I'm like you. I'm a busybody. Getting older, not as busy body as it used to. The body doesn't want to go, the brain does. So.
Well, we're in that next season where we're thinking about our next chapter. So.
Yeah, our next chapter's going to be a while because we just got in that new house, so we got to.
Well, there's a lot of new toys when you buy a lake house.
You have all these projects for me,
It's called honeydews. All wives have honeydews.
No, it's called kitty doos because you want it done so our kids will stay at our house more often.
Yeah.
So that's
Absolutely.
a good thing. So through the years, 2002, we were in Austin and selling quite a few houses. I was with a builder down there that was, it was a great move for our family. Met some of the greatest people I've ever been around in my life. And then you got in real estate down there, and you did pretty good in real estate. So tell us a little bit about that and all the investors you were working with and where they came from and how y'all worked that deal.
Well, that's going to be a lot of glory to you if I tell that story.
Well, that's always good. I could use some glory every now and then.
Well, it's not what you know, but who you know in cases. As we know, relationships really matter in the business world. But with you being a part of that large home builder, allowed me the opportunity to be their listing agent. And so there was just a lot of hand-holding the whole team. It was a beautiful thing to feel like you're a part of a business family, but all because you opened that door for me to be able to do that. So, but it was a lot of fun. We had a lot of fun in Austin, not just, business-wise, but personally too.
Oh, man, met some of the greatest people. You think where we've lived over our 33 years, we've moved a lot.
Well, we've moved in the top cities in all of Texas. We had to try it all out, but we wound up back home every time. So here we are.
Time.
We're here to stay this time.
Yeah, I don't plan to leave this time. I'm in my final resting place, I believe.
Well, we checked it all out. So
we checked a lot of boxes in our lives in 33 years. So after 2002, tell us a little bit what went on from there.
Well, the balance that we had from, not just the real estate side, but with all your health stuff too. We've been through a lot. And the amazing thing is our faith in God that has helped us and carried us through between deaths in the family, back to back surgeries, trying to juggle, staying on top of things financially. It was a beautiful season in the sense that when you come through hard things and you do it well because you're not carrying burdens alone, God is with you, that's a beautiful story.
You'll get me choked up.
Talk about your faith more growing up.
So, I grew up a pastor's kid. You know what they say about pastor's kids.
Yeah, the wild child.
I tried, but I got caught every single time. So growing up, it was strict, but I will tell you, because of that, I'm grateful for my heritage. I am grateful that I've known the love of Jesus since I was very, very little.
Well, you think about it. I mean, your grandfather was pastor of the church. Your dad was a pastor. I believe your mother's a pastor because I know she just married our son. Let's see. I think most of your aunts and uncles were pastors at some point, and half their kids are still pastors.
We were at church every time the doors opened.
Yes, I remember. I grew up Presbyterian, and I had not ever sat in that kind of world. And learning God helped change a lot of stuff in my life, and I still have my battles that I think everybody does in life with religion, and it's hard to understand a lot of it, but if you sit down and dig, you start understanding the stories of the Bible. You start understanding why people have faith and religion in their life. And a lot of people get upset because pastor said something wrong or it offended them, and that's just, everybody makes mistakes because not everybody knows what we don't know about other than what's in the Bible, and we have to believe that. I believe if you follow all the rules of the Bible in life, in general, and principle with family and all, that you'll have a pretty calm life. And I don't know that if I had not married you, that I would have had the life I've had, or a person that cares about me like you do.
Thank
So
you.
to find a person like that's one of the most unbelievable things in this world.
Well, I'll tell you the beautiful thing about grace that God has. You don't have to know the Bible in and out to have a very close, very personal relationship. We go to the Bible to understand better, but one of the most beautiful personal experience I have ever had is in the heart of brokenness. And the Bible does say that God is close to the brokenhearted. When my brother passed away and you were in bed with back-to-back surgeries, my uncle passed, my grandfather passed, all within less than a year's time. It was just a back-to-back, a lot of things, because God doesn't promise us an easy life, but He does promise He will never leave us. And in a moment of prayer in the morning, in my alone time, I was just emotional, as you can imagine. A lot of emotions were going at the time. And I felt physically God wrap a warm blanket around me. And my heart and my peace, everything within me just settled. And I knew God was present. And that's from having a relationship with Him. And that's for leaning on Him. And that's for trusting Him. And those are the things that I'm grateful that I grew up watching my family turn over their trust and their faith, and watching, I've seen God step in at the 9th hour, right on time, so that it's Him.
Yeah, I can see that, but I still, me and my battles in life are difficult, and I'm a little difficult. And I remember one day, it took me 28 years probably to ask you this, when I asked you, what made you so happy? How do you stay so happy? You gonna tell us that again?
Well, I'm grateful. I wake up every day grateful for another day. And the thing is God does bless a grateful heart.
I think your exact words were, Wes, it's a choice. I live the same battles you do. I live through your stuff. I live through my stuff. I live through our family's deaths together with you. And I basically battle the same thing. But every morning I pray for happiness and gratitude. And I walk out of that house happy every day.
It's called counting blessings. So focus on positive.
Yeah, you know mine's backwards. I focus backwards because I expect the worst out of a lot of.
Well, that's why God put us together.
Yeah, I mean, you brought a happy medium to me, and it's calmed me way down in my life, and it's given me hope, which I don't think I ever had.
I'm not the hope giver. He is.
You gave me a reason to look for hope then. How about that?
I just try to steer you in the right direction sometimes.
Yeah, well, that's like driving a tractor. It's difficult.
I'm good at it, though.
Yeah, I call you my handler. Every time our boss calls,
It's a good joke.
Let me get my handler. I'll have it fixed tomorrow. So, coming back here has been, being back at Horton, I've been here almost a year now since I came out of the sabbatical health retirement, and I've had a good time here. But I think most of all, I've had the biggest blessing of my life because I get to work with you and my kids. I can actually talk with you about stuff now, and that's being able to bounce things off of you and knowing that you've been here 15 years almost, right?
Yes.
That's amazing.
Now, Horton has been very good to us. It's just been a blessing to be here.
Well, you have a couple of friends inside this company. I've been here 15 years. I have friends that go back in the 90s still
That are still here also.
that are still,
Yeah.
some are still here. Some have moved
Some have retired.
over. A couple have retired, and a couple went and retired and came back and went to work for another big builder. And, I've worked with some of the greatest salespeople at Horton in my life. We have, 40 salespeople roughly?
About in our division.
In
So there's
just our division,
multiple
yeah.
divisions, of
How
course.
many divisions we have in Dallas?
Well, Dallas is divided up between, you have North and South Dallas, but you also have a Central, and then you have, Fort Worth. And of course, DFW is all so closely
Is Fort Worth
compacted.
partitioned up like Dallas?
I think that they've recently divided. And because we don't have a lot to do with the division, because we're just so focused
Right.
on our own, I don't have a lot of knowledge about how they divided it or what they're doing on their side.
So this division, what do you think about it? Is it?
I love this division. Well, it's not just because, obviously, the people who run the division, we've walked and worked with hand in hand for years and been friends with, even outside of work. But it's also just watching the success of it. It's truly amazing to be a part of. You think of D.R. Horton is the largest builder in the entire nation. You think there are multiple divisions in the entire nation. Our division is the largest division in the nation.
Most
And
sales,
we work
most
here.
closings, and it's a blessing to have the opportunity to be back involved in such a great company.
Good to be on a winning team.
Since I was here last, we've had a huge regime change, and Derek and Scott are either retired or have taken over another division. I know Scott went down to Austin for a while, and he's back in Fort Worth.
Yeah, I thought that was so. But here's the
He's
thing.
president now, so he.
That's so good for him.
Well, he was president in Austin, but that's a big division in Fort Worth also, and that's pretty much where home base is in the Arlington, Fort Worth area, and you get a lot of politics tied to that just because that's where the brass is.
Well, you think they have different seasons in their life too. And so whether it's moving up in the company or whether it's moving back home for them, But I think what is amazing is we're people collectors, more so you than me. But you stay in touch with a lot of people that we've come across paths with and been friends with and worked with. And they've moved around, we've moved around, but there's still that comeback time with that friendship.
Yeah, that's a true friendship to me. Somebody that you can go away and call at any time and they'd be there for you. And I feel that way about this. We have a couple of great ladies working for this as the leaders of our division now. One is actually our president is a Horton herself. And,
Yes, she is.
And
Boss lady.
boss lady. We actually have two boss ladies. One was a good friend of yours.
Yes.
And she's now a vice president here of sales. And she's an incredible person herself.
Well, it's a good story. So actually, her and I started. I actually had trained her, brought her in as my partner with I'll say this: it's a smaller builder, but a large home, large custom builder,
Right.
as far as size and price. And when I decided to make that transition and be with you on the Horton side, I told her, you need to come with me. And she did. So once upon a time, I was her boss. Now the roles have flipped, and she is my boss. So this is one of those careful how you treat people.
You know something? You should always treat people with kindness.
Of course.
I mean, we have our bad days, all of us do, but kindness always prevails, and people respect that through the years. You know, Dusty has been a great friend to you through the years, and you know, it's neat to watch her climb the ladder so fast with where she is today. She's just been an incredible person for our family to know and to be able to work for her. So, and getting to know Lindsay, what a great person. I mean, they're the calmness when you go in the meetings is compared to some of the calmness from years ago, from back in the 90s. It was a different world back then. It's really nice. I mean,
Their jobs are
they appreciate
they're
us
multifaceted.
probably more.
There's multiple things that they have to stay on top of. So it is a stressful job, and I think the appreciation that both you and I recognize is the fact that their efforts to always stay positive, no matter how challenging sometimes.
I think
It can be.
so too. I love that part, but I'm not used to that. You know, usually we were hard driven back in the day compared to today, but we still produce as many, if not more. We probably produce more numbers than ever. I mean, we're building so many in different neighborhoods and stuff.
Well, I mean, we're the largest builder in the nation. But again, it goes back to that mission statement of the affordability. That's why so many families are drawn to us.
Well, I mean, so tell us what's going on now with incentives and stuff with D.R. Horton. I mean, what are y'all, what are we doing? I think y'all's are a little bit different than ours up here.
Only slightly. And it depends on the community itself. So the division as a whole, obviously we're going into Valentine's Day, Love Day, which is not Valentine's Day at our house because it's your birthday.
You're going to tell me? Right.
So happy birthday coming.
Thank you.
Yes. So we are running sweetheart specials right now. So those sweetheart specials.
So you buying me another house? Is that the sweetheart special?
No.
Oh, I thought we were talking sweetheart special.
No.
Not Valentine's
We'll
Day.
talk about that later. That's more private. So the sweetheart specials, the affordability side of it, obviously our preferred lender, we're paying $8,000 in closing cost, plus we're paying title policy as well. But the real big expense that we have invested for the affordability side for our families is we've brought the interest rate down to 3.99%. And that is saving families so much money on a monthly basis, putting them in a position where they can better afford their dream home.
Now, are y'all able to do the 2-1 buy down in Wildcat also?
We were, but that was February only.
Okay.
So we're at a place where it takes time for the mortgage side, obviously with underwriting, appraisals, and such. So I think last Tuesday or Wednesday was the very last contracts that could come in that could qualify. It's about mortgage side and be able to close on
Is it just
time.
in Wildcat, or is that all the neighborhoods that it was changed?
Well, it's no more. So,
Okay.
yeah. So the 399 though, if you look at that over a 30-year fixed rate, depending on the price point, obviously, but even in my lower, more affordable price point, that's still saving $400 to $600 a month for 30 years. Right. So
I
that's
agree.
huge for families to be able to offer them
And we
that.
seem to be selling, it used to be price, price driven, and now we're payment driven. I mean, I've had one person walk in the year I've been here that is a cash deal, and I'll probably write them in the next week or two, but they're all cash, and
Well, then they will be price driven.
yeah,
No.
they definitely are price driven, and it just threw me off when they go, oh, we're cash buyer only, and I go, oh, that's great. Where do we need to be on price on this one? It's more like it, and we have this much money. We closed our house. We've been in a rent house for a year, and we don't want to go much over this amount. And it was interesting because I wasn't sure how to deal with that. I'm so used to pulling the payment calculators out. And
Well, that's the majority of the
everything
buyers,
read.
right? But we do have a good handful. I mean, I'm surprised. I mean, I just closed a house last week that was all cash, came from California, sold their home, and
I'll tell you, I had a little rough patch out in my neighborhood. We're slowing down on, we're getting ready to take down some more lots, it looks like, out here. And we're out of lots, and we're down to the last 6 houses. So
we call that a gap. And in our industry, it happens.
It
We
does.
sell out of one phase, we're waiting on the next phase, which is where we are in Cartwright Maze down
Well,
south,
you know
too.
what happens when that gap happens to somebody that's new here?
New back,
You're
you mean?
like starting over. Well, this has been a total restart this time, because back in our day when I was working here the last 2 times, we still did paper contracts, and computers they were there, but I'm not real sure for.
Yeah, to evolve.
And all of a sudden now I've got CRMs, computers, systems, OSCs. It's amazing the tools that we have at our hands. I've bucked a few of them, as you know, and got my business cards.
Called a learning
back.
curve. It's
It
fine.
is. It is. I've had, I'm still old school, and I've had to learn some new ways. I work for some younger ladies now that are driving the ship, and they're always willing to try stuff. I mean, and they're always looking to make things better for all of us here, and it's just neat to watch how this company works.
You know what hasn't changed?
What? Community?
Relationships.
Community.
Shaking hands, rubbing elbows, kissing babies.
Yeah.
You've always been good at that because you care about people. And I have watched and learned from you over the years on how to build rapport with families up front. Because when you're able to build rapport, it opens families up to be more transparent about this is what we're trying to accomplish, this is what we're trying to do. So the faster that you can put them at ease and put them in a situation where they can expose this is what we're trying to accomplish, that's where we can start building a plan on how to help them.
Well, the plans when they come in every day, it's a new person and new change, and you got to adjust, and it's kind of like being a chameleon. You got to make those changes pretty quick so you can fit into their circle for a few minutes and understand their dreams and what their family's about and where they're going. And some of that involves sharing your own personal stories and talking about family. And I'm lucky. It makes it easy for me. I'm like, I love this company if I've got all my family working here. That statement I'll probably use it maybe too much,
But we've been in this industry a long time.
Yeah, 30
Some
years.
people come by it natural, some people learn it, and some people just don't get it.
There are those.
But you have that natural ability, so it's been really amazing to watch it over the years.
Well, it's been a learning curve being here this time, and like I said, you take 6 weeks without a sale or something like that. It is like starting over. I mean, literally, I'm having to call you to get some advice on computer stuff or CRM. It seems like continually, and I don't know. Sometimes I feel like I might be too old to keep doing some
Absolutely
of this
not.
stuff, because
You bring.
old Ticker up there isn't working as good as it used to.
I do not agree with that at all, sir.
You don't?
No, sir.
Well,
Because you bring wisdom and you bring guidance. And one of the wonderful things that people pick up on is as you start talking about building and the construction and how that all fits into the buying process, you were a builder for so many years and built thousands of homes. You're able to guide people not only from a wisdom and experience standpoint, but people are drawn into, this sounds like someone who can best help me, better than the last person that they met with.
I remember the day I made the decision to do this. I was building for another builder, and Max Luce was our sales guy. Never forget it.
Is he even around anymore?
Yeah, it's funny. I ran into a couple of younger people that they used to work for him at Landon Homes, and he was a sales manager over there for a long time, and supposedly retired. I don't know. I haven't been able to find him, or I would have already called him. But I remember that day. He goes, "Bishop, you need to be in sales. You've helped me sell every deal I got here because of your knowledge in construction. They just eat you up." And of course, Jim wasn't real happy about me wanting to leave construction because I was
Well, because you were good at it.
many houses for him, and I was just wore out. I mean, it's 24/7 if you're a builder, and it's a process that it's a big babysitting job, and when you're a smaller builder, you're fighting for subs, and when you're a big builder, you have your subs because they're always in one of your neighborhoods pretty close by to get their inspections quicker, and so these houses go up a lot quicker than what I could do them back in those days. But
Are you going to tell the story, though, what happened that weekend?
which one?
Well, it's so
How
amazing.
about you tell it? You seem to have
well,
a story I don't recall.
Well, you talk about, these people like in passing, but there is just such a deep, fun story with each one of these things. So when you were transitioning into the building, from the building side into the sales side through this encouragement, but they were actually running a competition. They were, whoever salesperson sells the most homes this weekend gets a trip +1 with the management and ownership team to Mexico. And you were running around as a builder transitioning to sales. They were going to give you a shot at it. And you had 7 deposit checks in your drawer, acting like nothing was going on so that you could get them all written up and turn it in.
I had to have one written in a week. He gave me 2 weeks to sell a house. And my division president then was Jim Busher. I remember he was like, "No, I'm not letting you move." And I'm like, "Well, I'm leaving then." He goes, "Whatever, I'll give you a week or 2 to sell a job." And he was serious. I mean, if you don't sell a house, you're not getting in there. And I took all of Max's old cards, and I called every single one, told him I was giving houses away.
That's kind of false advertising.
They all came. Hey, the price is so cheap, it feels like we're giving them away. You need to come out here. I've got all sorts of deals, and golly, man, so many people showed up. People were just throwing checks at me, and I knew at that point God had made my decision for me.
Open the door.
Open the door.
Well, you won us a trip to Mexico, and we had a great time.
Well, yeah, the trip to Mexico, no, that was not a contest. That was only mine and Jim's contest.
Oh, that was like a bet?
No, I told him the night that he told me, he goes, "Man, we almost hit our record this year. If we'd had a couple more sales, I'll do that. I would have we would have broke every record that company had ever had." And I was just like, we were at his house for New Year's Eve.
Well, because they wound up being friends of ours. He
Yeah.
wound up being one of my investors into foreclosures.
That's true.
So there's a deeper story.
Well, and then when I was sitting there, I go, "I can make those deals happen, but you may have to give a little bit of money up or something like that." And I literally just drove out and pulled them out of my drawer, because back in the day when you could hold them back for a little bit, sandbag it, I guess you'd say. And I was sandbagging because I already knew I had the job with the 1 or 2 I'd already turned in. So I just kicked back and like, all right, first part of the year's going to be good. I'll turn in these next 5 next week, hopefully get a couple of more. And when he said that, I said, I can make that happen. And I just drove to the office and came back, and within an hour, and go, here you go. He's like, you son of a bitch. I can't believe you did this. I thought he was going to pull his hair out there. He turned blood red. You're not going to Mexico. I'm coming out. We already made a deal. We're going to Mexico.
We had so much fun with him.
We did. We did some scuba diving. Him and I did some deep dives. So, like, as a matter of fact, I remember,
dangerous.
I remember the master diver going, I'm not diving with y'all anymore.
Well, yeah, because it's dangerous.
Yeah, we're trying to hit that nitrous level.
Yeah, which is dangerous.
It is, but the fun part was the fun part behind it.
Well, it wouldn't have been fun if I would have had to bury you, sir.
Well, I agree, but back then, you know me. I'm just myself. But you have anything you want to tell the rest of the world? And all the real estate agents that you've worked with, or?
Yes, I do.
We're gonna
Shall I look at the camera?
We're gonna start wrapping this up, and
Okay.
you can look anywhere you want to. We depend on our realtors. Our realtors are everything to us. That's 90% of all sales, I would say, up here for me, and probably you too. And nowadays, I mean, you get your one or two that are coming through without a realtor, but if we want the realtors here. We want them to come see us. We want to participate in the people they have. So what would you tell your realtor teams that come out and visit with you? And I'm gonna let you open up there.
Thank you. It would be a message of gratitude. So the thankfulness that I have for the partnership that we share, we rely on agents to be able to be our repeat business, and then they trust us, and then we're thankful for that trust. So that would be my message. It's just a message of gratitude and thankfulness for your partnership, for their partnership, and let's make 2026 fantastic together.
That's awesome, Dayla. I want to thank you for coming on the show.
Thank you for having me.
Well, we tried this once before. I just wasn't prepared since it was some of my first podcasts.
You just said do it.
Well, I'm wrapping it down. I'm getting ready to close out. So I can't thank you enough for always being a part of my life.
Thank
and
you.
all the stuff you've given me and stood up beside me through is amazing. You're an amazing person, and having your faith in God has made my faith a lot stronger. And I don't think I could ever be more appreciative person in my life. I love you more than anything.
Oh, baby, I love you too.
So,
And I'm thankful for you. And I'm thankful that you lead our household. I'm thankful that you love me as much as you do. And I'm thankful for our two precious sons. And now their families and our growing
Right.
family tree. And now we're watching a legacy. And it all started with us. And I'm thankful for that. I love you.
I love you too. Guys, thank you for joining the West Bishop Show. Hope to see you soon. If any of your realtors out there would like to do a podcast with Miss Dayla Bishop, please get in touch with either her or I, and we'll get you up here on the camera and let you tell your story.